with Vicki Wagner. I'm your host, Vicki Wagner. How is it going? It's almost Halloween here in West Hollywood. It's going to be loading up this town with 500,000 people in, 2 days from now? Police are already, rounding up the plants because people are going to trample over our city. I'm sad. Boo-hoo. Anyway, I won't be here, I hope, for Halloween, because if you're a resident of West Hollywood, you get the hell out of West Hollywood for Halloween, because it's just too crazy for me. And maybe I'll talk to my guests to see what they're going to do for Halloween and find out. But I got two really funny guests on my show today. I got Denise Williamson, and she has actually started her own show called the Uptight Senior Citizens Brigade, which is a funny show for people over 50 years old. So I want to hear about that a little bit. She's performed at Flappers, the Comedy Store around town, and she was also in the Burbank Comedy Festival. I also have all the way from San Diego, Bill Jubran, and he actually runs a show at Ace's Comedy Club down there that I'm going to be on. It's a big up-and-coming comedy club down there. Also at the Madhouse and the Comedy Palace. So if you guys are down in San Diego, make sure you check him out. And please welcome my guests, Bill Jubran and Denise Williamson. Hey guys, what's happening?
Hi, Vicki.
Hey. Good. So Halloween, I just want to know, do you have any plans for Halloween?
I hate Halloween.
You do?
I really hate Halloween.
Why?
Because one thing I hate the pumpkin-flavored shit. All my friends love pumpkin flavor. Everything's pumpkins. They
I'm
make a
so glad
big
I didn't
deal.
get those pumpkin chocolate chip cookies I was going to bring up today.
I mean, the cookies, they have Pop-Tarts, pumpkin spice lattes. People go ape shit over this. I don't understand it. It's a squash. I hate pumpkins. I can't wait for it to go away.
I like pumpkin lattes.
Well, I mean, you're going to have a problem then.
Okay, well, that's all right.
We're starting off on the wrong
They do
foot.
have these pumpkin cookies that I get sometimes, and they only come out this time of year. Like you said, everything is pumpkin this time of year. So this time, they're so good, though. But I was going to get them, but my girlfriend was here, so I brought the chocolate eclairs instead. So there you go.
Those look pretty good.
So you got out of eating the pumpkin stuff. How about you, Denise? What are you doing
I have a new granddaughter who's just 7 months old, and this is her first Halloween, so we're going to dress her up and go trick-or-treating.
What is she going to be?
I think she's going to be a princess, but I'm not sure which one. Her mother hasn't decided yet.
She's going to be a little pumpkin princess.
That's right.
They're going to have
Pumpkins
little
all over
pumpkin
the place.
chariot. Oh, you know what you should do? You should make her little stroller.
The chariot.
A pumpkin.
Oh, I heard that.
And
That's
they'd be like,
that's
hello,
cool.
Bill?
Yeah,
No, I'm only
that's
kidding.
right.
I'm joking
I
around.
can't wait till November.
I'm going to send the pictures to you on Facebook.
You know, and I used to love Halloween when I was a kid because I'm from Chicago, and so are
I
you.
am from Chicago, too.
I don't know if you knew that about me.
Cubs fan or White Sox?
Actually, both, because my uncle tried out for the White Sox,
Okay.
and he almost got into it, but something happened to him right before that. But, of course, Cubs fan. But I if either team wins, it's fine with me. It's as long as it's Chicago, I don't care.
I hear you.
That's the truth. I mean, the Bulls, the Blackhawks, if they're winning, I'm on board. So we were just talking earlier, the World Series is going on about the guy that reached in and took the ball. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Cubs World Series?
Oh, yeah, Bartman.
Yeah. Do you know what we're talking
No,
about?
uh-uh.
Well, a couple of years ago, the Cubs finally made it to the World Series, and some jerk-off fan, reached in and grabbed the ball and lost the World Series.
I think I heard about that, yeah.
It was so bad. But I bet
He's
nobody
been in
will-
witness
He's
protection
he is.
since 2003.
He's in,
Seriously,
yes,
huh?
he is. He's in a witness protection
Wow.
program because they want to kill him.
Yeah.
So that's it. Don't make. You know what, men? Keep your own balls to yourself, right? Everybody talk with their own balls. But I want to say about Chicago because you know when we were growing up in the Midwest. Where are you from, Denise? From here?
I'm from L.A., one of the few.
Well, the thing is that here, because I've lived here 16 years, there's really no build up to any holiday here. Have you noticed that? There's I don't know how it is in San Diego, but here in LA, there's no Thanksgiving is coming and there's turkeys and everything out, and there's no, Christmas is coming or Easter or anything. There's no build here. It's just all of a sudden one day it's nice and sunny, you're out at the beach, and the next day, oh, it's Halloween. Okay, trick or treat.
Well, they make up holidays in Chicago. Have you ever heard of Sweetest Day?
Yeah.
They have there's no Sweetest Day anywhere else.
Yeah, there is. Is there Sweetest Day here?
I've never
Not
heard
that I know of.
Really?
It's
I
like
didn't
it's
know
like
that.
Valentine's Day 2 or something. That's all it is.
It's in September.
I've only heard about it in Chicago.
Wow.
You never
Sweetest
heard of Sweetest
Uh-uh.
Day? Okay, what would you think it is?
Well, he said it, but it sounds like
Oh,
a
darn.
Valentine's Day
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Not like Sweetest Day sounds like a bunch of candy to me.
Right.
What Sweetest Day is like, if you're my sweetie, then you're my sweetest. It's the sweetest
Oh.
day for you.
Huh.
Sweetest day.
Well, maybe we ought to have that out here.
Yeah, you might get into it. But we're going to talk
Yeah.
about some funny things today. We're going to talk about
Okay.
some practical jokers, some of the things that you guys have done, dating, how to raise your kid, and people that think they know everything. So you got your girlfriend here with you, MJ,
Correct.
right? And so, but you're single, right?
Yes, I am. My son got married, and I am a bachelorette again for the first time in over 20 years.
Oh, is
All
that
right.
I'm
right?
having a time.
Is that right?
Yeah, I haven't been on the dating scene for quite a while, though.
Why not?
Well, because I was, doing stuff with my son, but, and even I hadn't been in a relationship in so long that when my breast cancer surgeon told me that I couldn't participate in any contact sports, I didn't know what she was talking about. I thought she meant I couldn't play football.
Oh, is that real? How's everything going now, though? It's in remission now, right?
Oh, yeah.
wanna bring
I'm
that up.
cool.
I
I'm
wanna say
cool.
that.
Great.
I've been cancer-free for over 10 years now.
High five, girl.
All right.
That's what I want to hear about.
And you
That's
look
right.
good too. You look
You
great.
look
Thank you so much.
But I'm taken. So.
Yeah, it's too bad.
That's how
too.
they're even
What
looking
You
can
at
guys
me.
look like a
say?
good couple. What about you, Bill? What are your issues with dating? I mean, not dating, with your girlfriend.
I have a beautiful girlfriend I've been dating for about 8 years.
Yeah.
And
Almost
she's
married. What happened?
just legally
Did
married,
you put
I guess.
a ring on it?
She has
Even
rings,
I got a
but
ring,
not
and I'm a
on the finger. But
Hello.
my
MJ,
issue with her,
if you can see me, talk to us after the show.
you're a bad influence.
Well, I'm sticking up for the ladies.
I have a good thing going. Why would I want to get married? Okay, anyway. One thing, you ever see like a douchebag out in public with a really hot girl?
You mean a man?
Like a guy where you're like, how did he get her?
Yeah.
That's me.
What?
That's me.
You
People
know
look at us together like, how did that happen?
No.
Yeah, they see it all the time. And they're like, he's either got to have money or he's got to be packing, you know?
Which is it, Bill?
It's not
Tell.
true. I don't have
Tell.
money.
Oh, so you're packing? Is that what you're saying? Are you trying to tell
Take
us
it how you want. But,
well, you got to
please it
say,
somehow.
you said it. You only gave us 2 options.
I think we need to ask her.
Yeah. Oh, what'd you say about her? You're shorter than her, though, aren't you?
She's almost 6 feet tall. I'm only 5'7".
Do you have like that short man syndrome?
Napoleon syndrome?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Well,
No,
because you look
I
pretty
do.
good. I mean, you look like you're muscular.
It's all
Is he?
Photoshop.
Feel it, squeeze his
Yeah.
arms.
It's just
Is he?
Photoshop.
Hard? Not? Soft? Is he muscular? No.
little bit.
When a girl squeezes your arms, you're supposed to flex.
Yeah.
Always. It doesn't matter if she could be your grandma or not. Right?
Right.
Exactly.
Try again.
You calling me his grandmother?
Try again.
Oh, hey. All right. He's
See?
all right.
He's packing
All
now?
right. Yeah.
You
he's
can always
packing
show
now.
off for the ladies. You don't want anybody to squeeze it and be like it's soft, because then they think that, oh, okay.
Right.
That's it. Right? Am I right, Denise?
That's right.
Am I right?
That's exactly right.
But did you say that they give you a hard time?
I
Bill,
mean,
we were just talking about
it's
this.
a little uncomfortable. She's 4 inches taller than me.
Yeah.
And that leads to problems, like in the bedroom it leads to problems.
Why?
We can't
when
69?
you're laying down, why?
When we're laying down, everything's fine. But we can't 69.
Oh, really? Is
I'm
that
86. I am 86 from 69.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah, she's always laughing.
I had someone tell me that I'm so fat I 88.
Oh.
Because I
There
like
you
boobs
go.
to boob, gut to gut.
I got it, I got it.
Oh, so you could have any number of problems,
Can't
right?
69. She's laughing all the time because, apparently licking her belly button is ticklish.
Is that right?
Yeah, she is. Plus, when she
Definitely.
looks down and I'm going down on her, it's like, it looks like she's crowning.
Bill,
She's always,
where are you taking our talk here?
she's always laughing. I'm sorry.
Where are you taking our talk here?
Talking about my problems being a shorter
you
guy.
went from telling me that the kids give you a hard time because you're short to
Oh,
going
her
down on your
kids.
girlfriend?
Her kids were bigger than me when they were 13 years old.
Oh, is
Now
that-
they're 21.
Yeah.
They're 6'4". I'm afraid of them.
Your kids are they're 21
Her
now?
kids. I don't have any kids of my own.
What about, Denise, you were talking about like when we raise kids, like your topics of raising kids.
Yeah. Well, they've had this thing with what's his name, Ricky Rice or whatever.
Who's that?
Well, that football player that was the one that did the one in the elevator. Who
Ray
was-
Rice beat up the girl in the elevator.
Okay, who was the
Adrian
one that?
Peterson is the
Right.
one that smacked his kids in the...
Right. Well, I've never used the switch, but my son got his ass whooped.
Is that right?
That's right.
Growing up?
Yeah, and I figured, especially being a black mom, honey, LAPD doesn't give timeouts. They give ass whoopings. So I want him to know what it was going to be like.
You'd be like, you see that squad car over there?
That's right.
Pay attention.
That's right.
Because you're getting it
Exactly.
right now.
Exactly.
Because I know I got my ass beat growing up too. I did. I mean, the kids these days, did you growing up? You're from
I
Chicago.
got the wooden spoon.
You got the wooden spoon? I got a yardstick. So it looks like we all got
Right.
some. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom would pull out the yardstick and she'd whack me with that yardstick and that shit hurts.
I stopped using the belt because I was doing this and kicking my own ass.
Oh, that's so funny.
Nice.
That's funny. Did you do it once and be like, hey, that hurts?
Yeah.
I'm knocking this out.
Who am I whooping here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but if you start young, you don't have to do it for a long time. I don't think he got a whooping after he was 14 or
Aw.
maybe 10, even 10 or 12.
What,
because
did you get? You
he
got? You
knew.
got it too?
I did, but me and my brothers can run really fast, so we'd always run from the ass whooping.
Oh, yeah?
But my
Oh,
mom
that's-
always threw shoes. She'd always just try to get us running out the door with a shoe.
Oh, really?
Like
That's
Eddie Murphy.
dangerous
I heard
to
Eddie
run
Murphy
for
say
an
that.
ass- from an
My
ass
mom threw
whooping.
shoes. She'd miss us. Sometimes hit my friends. It's
For real?
yeah. My friends.
What would your friends do? Like, dude, really?
Oh, they were not happy about getting hit with a high heel in the shin.
Oh,
but
my gosh.
you know.
Did you ever throw shoes like that?
No, I never threw shoes, but it's dangerous.
I've never had
to run
kids, so
from
you're
an
the
ass
only
whooping.
mom here that can vouch for moms.
Because you do have to go to sleep, you know.
My mom
Right.
threw a phone at me once.
Oh, did she?
And I'm not talking about these little cell phones that we got nowadays, okay?
You're
If
talking
I threw
about
this
a
at you,
phone.
you'd be like, okay. I'm talking
Mhm.
about when it used to look like a little box and you
Yep.
pulled it up with a dial on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, she threw one of those at me. I'll tell you, that hurt. That shit
Mm,
hurt.
mm.
So, any opinions on that?
On ass whoopings?
Yeah. Kids
I
today.
don't have kids of my own, but I would think I would never hit a kid if I had one. But I'd like to beat other people's kids.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think that should be like if we're at Walmart or something.
Yeah.
Those brats at Walmart.
Yeah.
Don't you want to just like punt them somewhere? Just like boot them over the aisle.
No,
course.
their
Oh, I hear
parents.
you.
Their parents need an ass whooping because if you can't control a 5-year-old, you need your ass whooped.
I agree with that.
That's true too.
When in doubt, call Bill. You got a
That's
problem,
right.
you know, you got a problem with your kid? Walmart,
Right.
call Bill. He's gonna whoop his
I
ass.
do have a short fuse when it comes to screaming kids. I really do.
Yeah, or
Spoiled
people
screaming
taking
kids.
selfies, right?
Selfies?
Yeah.
Ones that take selfies every day.
Women who take selfies.
Yeah, you take them every single day. I have people
Are you talking about
posting
people who do
pictures
it and then they post it on social media?
all the time. I'm like,
Do you know what he's talking about?
You know, I do, and it's funny because I went to the nail shop today,
Yeah.
and there was this lady. She was, you know how they have the pedicure, the little
Yeah.
thing where you have the pedicure. She's sitting in that thing doing this.
No, the customer was?
Yes, and I'm looking. What in the world do you have to take a selfie about in here?
You
You're
could just
getting
take a picture of
manicure.
your toes, right?
I don't know what she was.
I know what
doing.
you're talking about because I know a couple people on Facebook, and every single day they change their. Look at me today. Look at me today. How do I look now? How do I look? Does this look good? Oh, look at me! Like, and they make the poses like ooh,
Right.
like that or something. Like, are you
you look
serious?
at their pictures, their folders on Facebook, and profile pictures. There'll be 980 of them.
Yeah, and there's no
But everything
pictures with
else,
them
12,
and anybody
12.
else.
Yeah.
Like, where's your friends? Don't you have any friends? Maybe that's what it is. They don't have any friends, so they're like, look
Could
at me and
be.
myself.
That's why they
this
don't have
is
any
my
friends.
self. You know, I like to
Could
talk
be.
to myself too.
Right.
You know, you never know. There could be people who are so vain and jealous.
Like, we get it. You're hot. Okay. Move on.
Well, maybe it's
What
better
about people
than
that
taking.
take pictures of their food?
Oh, that's the biggest. I mean, if you were like in Paris, you're having some escargot or something, or if you have like a slice of Jay-Z's wedding cake or something interesting, take a picture of it. But not like hot dogs and macaroni and cheese. People take pictures of macaroni and cheese I saw the other day.
What?
I saw macaroni and cheese.
What was it, homemade or what was it?
Does it matter? It's macaroni
Yeah,
and cheese.
I want to know. Were they out at like the House of Macaroni and Cheese? Or?
It was on a skillet in their house.
Oh, they
it
made it
It
their
was
own
some
selves?
ghetto ass macaroni and cheese. And
that
they're like,
you,
hold on a
Denise?
second before you take a bite. Let me take a picture of my macaroni and cheese.
Really?
Not me.
I'm like, I don't even have the energy to
Because white
comment.
people are going to make this stereotypical comment. They make better macaroni and cheese.
My sister can
I gotta
get down on some macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, does she take pictures of it and send it out?
No, she's never taken pictures of it. May not have lasted that long.
Oh, yeah,
'cause
exactly.
We like that macaroni and cheese.
I like to take pictures sometimes because the reason being is because I come up with my own recipe. And
Right.
so I'll be like, here's what it looks like, you know, and like if you make it right, it should look like this. So, and then I'll post the recipe online and say, here's it. And then people like to follow the recipe and say, oh, it was so good.
What was your last recipe?
It was chicken salsa verde.
Chicken salsa verde.
Yeah, it was delicious. I
Yeah,
like
give me that recipe. It sounds good.
It's online. It's
I
on my
want to know
Facebook.
how you know about ghetto macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I'm saying it looks like ghetto macaroni and cheese.
What does
I can't-
ghetto macaroni and cheese look
she's
like?
calling you out.
Okay, you got me on the spot here. I'm a little,
That's okay,
I'm a
Bill.
little
That's all
nervous.
She's
right.
gonna
I'm a
let
little
you
scared.
off the hook.
Um,
She's gonna let
I-
you off the hook.
I'm a little scared right
There
now.
is a black lady right now who's hilarious in the kitchen, and it's kind of going viral. You know who I'm talking about? Like Aunt somebody.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
don't know
it.
her name, but she was on
don't know
Jimmy
her name
Kimmel,
either.
and she's like, she'd be like, "Bitch, get over here, take the picture," and it's her son, and she's telling him the son, and she's gone. Her name is Aunt somebody.
Yeah,
You
I've
don't know
seen
who
it,
we're
but
talking
I
about,
don't know
Bill?
what that.
I'm not
her
sure
name
what
She's
is.
like a super viral. She's a skinny little black lady. She makes shrimp. She makes all this, and she's got this little tiny kitchen. It's funny. You know, it's funny.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know her name. If it comes to you guys know who I'm talking about? Aunt somebody? Oh, man. Too bad. I think you might hate her, though.
Why would I hate her?
Because you don't like people posting pictures of their food. Definitely.
No, of boring food. If you show something interesting, then fine. I'm cool with that.
What about you, Denise? Your pet peeves? You don't like it when people are never on time?
Yes, that just irritates me because I don't know. Maybe it's from my mom. It's just for my mom. She never liked for us to be late, and now I have it bad. My son says, we went to a birthday party one time, and he said, I've never seen anybody get there before the birthday person.
Exactly. I can't stand one of my pet peeves, you guys, is on comedy shows. How about you guys?
I have a few.
What about it? What about it? When
What peeves do I have?
No.
Oh.
If she's talking about people getting to places on time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like, how about what's your opinion on that? Like, my girlfriend, she doesn't even want to come to a comedy show sometimes because she's like, oh, it's at 8 o'clock. It won't start till 9. If you're a comedian, you should get your ass there on time, right?
Or before time.
Yes.
So
I lie about start times.
You do?
I advertise at least half hour earlier than what the show
But
really
I think
starts.
sometimes that causes people to come late. Because if you advertise at 7 and the show doesn't start at 7:30,
yeah,
and the show starts at 7:30 all the time, they just start coming at 7:30. I don't know.
maybe you should.
And
know
people running the light also irritates me.
Is that just so in
Not
case anybody doesn't
respecting
know?
the
That
light,
means
yes.
that we know what that means. But
Yes.
I mean, running the light means a comic that just. I just recently did a show with somebody like that who ran the light by 7 minutes.
How long was the
7
set?
And
minutes.
her set was
Oh.
like, it shouldn't have been as long as it was. But,
Right.
I was the headliner, so I was coming on after her, and then you could see the people are getting tired. I was like, oh, my God, shut the hell up and get off stage. But she wanted one big last laugh, you know what I mean? And she couldn't get it, so she was trying. It's like, if you haven't gotten them to laugh by now, it's too late. You should have done that job in the first 5 minutes of your routine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some other stuff that we could talk about. Also, people who can't follow directions. I got to ask you guys a question. You saw the directions I gave, right?
I
To
did.
get here?
I did.
How
Yes,
tedious
ma'am.
were they?
That was detailed. It was that long. I had to scroll on how to get here.
Yeah,
But I didn't get lost.
Just so,
I didn't get lost.
so that viewers know what we're talking about, I wrote these directions for these comedians to get here. That literally, instead of just an address, it's an entire page of directions. And you know why I did that? Because of the comedians that came before you. Like, I don't know where it's at. I never saw the Pacific Design Center. I'm like, if you can't see a giant green, red, and blue lit up building with a giant waterfall out in front of it, then there's something wrong.
But what I love, Vicki, was halfway through, you said, I want to make sure you're reading this, so you better reply lucky to this email. I loved it. I have never seen anything like that.
Well, that's because
I'm
going to
use it.
If you don't reply back, you're lucky your ass got on the show.
That's
why.
right.
I'm not kidding you.
You were
about
very
that.
detailed. You almost down to the steps. Yeah,
I almost ready
past
to
these
put,
bushes, 3 steps, then
Exactly.
turn left.
I'm almost ready to put the steps. I haven't had to do it because since I added the last part that says a chimpanzee, a kindergarten chimpanzee could do this,
Right.
I think comics thought, oh, I better figure this out.
Figure
Because if I'm
Right.
late, she's going to think I'm a dumbass. I'm like, guess what? You're damn right I will.
That's right.
Like, you're a kindergartner dumbass that can't compete with the chimpanzee who could have got here, and your ass can't.
Right.
So that's it. That's your pet peeve, right?
Yes.
So now
Yes.
you see how detailed I am?
Oh, gosh.
You better follow those directions.
That's right. I'm going
Has
to take,
anyone not followed those directions correctly?
Oh my God. Hello.
As detailed as that
Girl?
is?
even after you've done it,
That
those,
last
that
line
detail.
I put about the chimpanzee, everybody's following. Because I think they think, oh my God, I better really read this time. Because what happens is comics, they have a tendency to not give a shit. Oh, I think I'll be able to find it. They don't read any of the directions. They don't do anything. And then they're like, I had one comic, he actually went downtown. I'm like, the show's in West Hollywood. So if you're downtown, you're not in West Hollywood. And he's like on San Vicente somewhere. You know how it goes all the way downtown? You may not know this, but we're on San Vicente. It goes all the way downtown.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm right here. And I'm like, where are you? And, I won't go into it. But, yes, there's been plenty of
Wow.
comics. They don't even follow the directions at all whatsoever.
I mean, you have Google Maps and MapQuest and all this kind of good stuff.
They
Take a
won't.
minute.
They don't follow it.
Wow.
They're idiots, I'm telling you. So what about, you guys are talking about people who think they know everything. That's one of your pet peeves. So
People
what
that know
about
everything.
Give me an example.
Give you an example. I don't have any examples.
What?
I don't have any examples.
That's
I was
what you
probably on
wrote.
tilt. I get in a lot of religious debates with people.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to bring up a religious thing here, but I get a lot of religious debates. People that think they know everything,
Of course.
and I hate. I don't want to get there. I'm not going there. I'm not going to
No,
religion.
just give me one last thing. You don't have to say about the religions or whatever, because I know a lady who I was hiking with recently, and she did the same thing. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. Like, let's not talk about this. We're out in fresh air right now. So, yeah, they don't want to hear your side of it or what?
They give a lot of bad advice.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to religion. You know what? Just follow your heart and follow. Doing stupid stupid lines like that don't mean anything. If I followed my heart with everything, I would have punched my boss in the face. You know what I mean? I would have done all. If it said live like it's your last day. You want to live every day like it's your last. I'm like, if I was my last day, I might just max out all my credit cards. I might dabble with homosexuality. I might just try it. You know what I mean? It's the last day. Who cares?
I might be crying. I'm serious. How do you know if it's your last day? You wouldn't just be crying your eyes out like, oh, I'm gonna live like my last day.
Right.
Oh, boo. Right?
Bad advice.
It is. And I want to say something about that, and I'm going to ask your opinion on that too,
no
because
problem.
it's so funny you bring that up because I was at a party and I found out this lady was a psychologist. And you know what her advice? And I was messing with her, right? Because I've been with Kim 6 years, my fiance.
Right.
And I was like, oh, we're a new couple. What kind of advice can you give to us? And Kim looked at me and I just kind of nudged her like, shut up. Like, I want to hear what this lady says.
Right.
And she goes, oh, the best piece of advice I can give you is to love one another. I'm like, that's your advice?
That's awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Never thought of that.
Love one another. That's the best thing. Like, not, hey, bring her flowers every week. Do this. Make sure, you go down on her, right? Whatever.
Right.
I'm only just piggybacking on what you just said.
Well, that's funny because I had part of one of my routines that said, I want to be a psychologist because that means that I can just sit around and listen to other people's problems all day and get paid for staying awake.
But how do you know you would stay awake?
Well, that's what you get paid to do.
I'm not sure if I could stay
Yeah.
awake for some of these people's problems. Like,
Yeah.
I've been like, you've ever been talking to somebody and you're just like listening to them and they're like talking and you're just like totally zoned out and then you come back, you're like, what the hell were they just talking about? And they're like, well, what do you think about that? And then you're like, oh, what do I think about what? I want to make sure I know
Right.
exactly what you're
You have
asking
to come
me.
up with generic lines. Like, yeah, you're right. That is the way it goes. Yeah,
That's very
pretty
interesting.
Yeah, I like the way you said that. You have a good point there.
That's
You
right.
got to come up with generic lines that'll fit any situation.
Oh, but what if they wanted to get your opinion and they said, well, what do you mean I have a good point there? Haven't you ever had somebody say that to you?
I haven't been called on that. I've been called on certain things.
If
but,
your girlfriend's listening, she's gonna know your tells right now.
She doesn't talk boring though. She does not, talk my ear off. So I actually listen to what she has to say.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
So like out in public when someone's doing that, and that's what if they don't know your MO, then you'll just
Right.
say, hey, you got a good point about
I have
that.
ADD. I space out. All the time.
I think most comics do actually. Do you have it?
I don't. My son was diagnosed with
Really?
it, but I wasn't.
I
Yeah.
did a survey online on Facebook one time. Seriously, they had the little test that you could take.
Really?
And I had people take it, and what I found is the people that I know of their comedy, the funniest comedians I know all had it, ADHD. And then some people goes, I didn't get it, and I was like, interesting to
You're
me.
not funny.
It was an interesting experiment that I did. Like, wow, that's very interesting, and they have different things because I think also to be a comic or whatever, you have to think so fast on your feet
Right.
that I think it actually helps. It's not even a curse for us.
That's true.
It's just like, okay, well, that topic, that was, who gives a crap? Let's on to the next, right?
Right.
But hey, I wanted to bring up, you were a dealer for 17 years?
Well, you have to be a little more specific.
That's
Okay,
true.
well,
I was a casino dealer, not like a coke dealer or nothing or meth.
Well, no, the viewers know I was a dealer for 4 years, a casino dealer. I dealt blackjack, roulette, Kirby, and studs. So when I found out you were a dealer, I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, where did you deal at? Out here in San Diego?
In
Indian
Pachanga.
Yeah.
Pachanga. I was there.
Do I know
got fired.
Pachanga? My girlfriend lives there part-time.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got fired from there a year ago. I worked in Florida, Chicago,
Not
and
too bad.
Indian reservations out here. About 8
Here's
different
the
casinos.
thing, Denise, about dealers, which only dealers know. It's like, honestly, if you can be a dealer, you can handle anything because when people are losing money, they're the meanest, jerkiest people. Like, I was a high limits dealer, so I'm not, were you or?
I did everything: high limit, craps,
So when
blackjack,
you're
roulette.
doing high limits dealer, you've got $100,000, and if you can handle because they're paying $5,000 a hand, and they're losing their money. They're such miserable people.
Yep.
That's how I ended up becoming a stand-up comic.
Really?
I sure did because I'm like, I got to deal with these assholes for 12 hours,
Right.
and so how am I going to make them laugh? And so when I first started, everybody asked me, how did you ever start out being a stand-up comedian? I was like, well, I had to make everybody at my table laugh, otherwise they'd probably want to kill me. And so I just wanted to bring that up because I never met another person even out here in California who was a
Oh, really?
dealer. Yeah, so good for you,
Plus, when
man.
you're high limit, you're standing on a lot of dead tables sometimes. You do a lot of people watching.
Oh, yeah, you do. You do a lot of
Sitting there for 8 hours sometimes, just your hands on a table.
If you're at a $50 minimum table, and that's usually where there's nobody at the table. Because all these $25 tables are next to you, and you're standing there.
Right.
He's right. You're just standing there like, okay, I'm
Checking
just
people out.
standing here, not doing
Waiting
anything.
for the high rollers, huh?
And they come, and sometimes they're really in a bad mood when they get to your table because they lost everywhere else, and they're going to try to find it on your table. But it works out for comedy, doesn't it?
It
Does
does.
it help you deal with hecklers?
It does.
Like how? Like what's your line? I want to hear you guys' line.
Like with a player?
No, with a heckler in comedy.
I've never been heckled before.
What?
I have never been heckled. I've had people like talk and be like rude.
How long
like,
have
on
you been
their
doing
phone.
stand-up?
I've been doing it for 3 years.
Okay, never had one heckler?
I'm lucky enough to say I've never bombed or had a heckler. I've had shows that were not good at all. I had one last night. But I shouldn't advertise that. Take that back.
Nobody
Take
knows.
that back. That never happened. Yeah, what was I talking about? I have ADD.
Hecklers, how about you?
Oh, yeah.
I've never really had to deal with a heckler, but I have this line that I learned from my comedy instructor
What is
that
it?
I've been waiting to use.
What is it?
Oh, look, we have a celebrity in the audience. Don Ho's brother, asshole.
Nice. That was good. That was good.
Oh, that is funny. Yeah, you get that. That's so funny.
You still do that? You still clap on and off sometimes?
Yes, I do actually sometimes do. After I stopped doing what he's talking
Is that
about.
the dealer thing?
Yeah,
when
it's
the
a dealer
dealer-
thing.
Anytime
It's
you go to your
subconscious.
body, what you can't.
You gotta go like
to clear-
that
you have to
to
clear your
show
hands
the
to the
cameras.
camera.
Oh,
I
pardon
used to
me.
do it in my sleep. too.
Really?
In
Or
the shower.
sometimes I just be like that. People
I'd grab
go, what
the
are
shampoo.
you doing?
Kim told you that, huh?
No, it was bad before I met her, but
Oh,
I remember
okay.
I did have a team. I used to deal roulette too quite a bit, and I used to wake up and I'd be like, no more bets. No more bets. And then I'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, no more bets. And I would stand up and there would be like, I'd be like, what's happening? There's nobody in my bed. There's nobody on the table. I'm just like, who am I talking to?
You know what I noticed after leaving the casinos for 17 years? That I always had a constant ringing in my head from slot machines.
Oh, yeah.
That went on for 17 years straight. And when I
Wow.
quit, I'm like, this is what life sounds like. It's
Well,
a
I'd love
constant ringing.
It is, and I'd love to know more about that another time, but we got to
amazing.
wrap it up. Hey, I want to know, where are you guys going to be performing next? Like, Denise, where can I see you?
Well, actually, I have a show, the Uptight Senior Citizens Brigade, which
Yeah.
is a troupe of comedians all over 50 years old, but it's not only for old people because young folks love us too because we're irreverent.
I love you.
That's right. And,
When's that show gonna be?
It's going to be November 14th
Yeah.
at the J Spot, which is near LAX, the corner of Manchester and Aviation. And I have 2 tickets that I brought for you
Thank
that
you.
I
I've
didn't
got
bring
them.
in here, but
And
but
then people
we
can
want
see
you to
you at
come.
also the Comedy and Meatball Show, right?
Yes,
On Wednesday
Comedy
nights?
and Meatballs on the 3rd Wednesday of every month
And I
at
gotta get
Tony's
to
on
Bill,
Aviation.
Too. I gotta tell him, get him to Bill. Where can we see you?
Tomorrow night, Thursday, every Thursday actually, I have a show called High Rollers of Comedy. It's at Aces Comedy Club in Marietta. It's by
Awesome.
Temecula area.
Well,
Kinda
you
by San
guys, I
Diego.
loved having you guys on the show. Interesting perspectives and everything like that. And I'd love to see you. So if you guys want to see Bill, come on down to San Diego. You can find him performing around town. And I'll actually be at his show at Aces Comedy Club. And if you want to go check out Denise, go check her out at the Comedy and Meatball Show. That's her show every
Yes.
week. You guys, thanks a lot for coming.
Thanks for
you
having
so
us. Had a lot of fun.
You're welcome. So check out Denise Williamson and Bill Jubran. I'm your host, Vicki Wagner. I'll see you next Wednesday.